TV.
You shout out Soda TV too?
Show TV, shout out.
Okay.
Soda TV. Soda TV, what up?
Okay.
Soda TV, shout out.
Welcome to Soda TV.
Shout out. Whatever it is.
Soda TV. It's Soda TV. Welcome back to Soda TV. Today we have 2Pac's prom date. Her name is Heather G. This is an exclusive interview. I guess they going out since the Tupac case is going on. They going out getting any and everybody that had any and everything to do with Tupac. Everybody is coming out the woodwork with stories on how, you got the Jada Pinkins route. Me and Tupac were, you know what I'm saying? Everything coming out. They arresting Keefy D 90 years later on information they been had. They got Puffy looking like Al Capone of the New York. So it's a lot going on, but nevertheless, Heather is giving her spiel and her 1-2 on how Tupac was and how the day went that her not life changing day, but the magical day. Before we get into it, gotta always beg you on my Keep Sweat. It won't be long. I just need a couple seconds. Please hit that like button. It makes YouTube know that this video is worthy of being pushed to the masses of people in YouTube world, and they can view this video just like you did. Also, subscribe to the channel, please. I know it's hard for you to do. I know it take a lot of time, but please, especially if I earned it at the end, by the end of this video. Deal? So, her name is Heather G. She is explaining that she went to the Baltimore School of Arts, and that's where she met Tupac. You had to be basically talented, skilled, which we are now is starting to become clear of who Tupac really was to me. You know what I'm saying? This school, you had to be already talented to even get in there, to gain more talent, to get perfection. So Tupac was a perfectionist, man. Dang, that explains why he was so big. It wasn't, I'm thinking, street dude, you know what I'm saying, when it was dang near the opposite, you know what I'm saying, real rap. So she is explaining Tupac a year younger than her, and basically how they met is not how they came to be together. Was Tupac was actually dating her best friend Kathy. Real rap. Now Kathy and Tupac ended up breaking up or whatever. Heather ended up asking Kathy for permission to date Tupac, to take him to prom, right? And from that point, Tupac started writing her love letters and stuff, and this is how they came to be an item. And then she just takes you through the limousine standing her up, and then how everybody ended up at Tupac's apartment after the prom, after parties, and they all ended up at Tupac's house with no supervision. And she gonna lay it on you. I'm gonna stop yapping. I'm getting to it. Roll.
Everybody knows everybody in this school. So it's kind of as soon as you meet somebody, you get to know so much about them. There's so much that's revealed in these acting classes because you really have to reach deep down and into deep parts of who you are and share that. So that happened quickly.
Tell me about that, him dating your best friend.
So, I mean, I think they just started to like each other the way things happen in high school. And so her name was Kathy, and he dated Kathy. So Kathy and I were together. We were inseparable together all the time. And so because of that, then Tupac, when they were dating, Tupac became a really big part of my life too, and a really good friend of mine. So eventually they broke up. So when when prom happened, she was actually went to prom with us in the limousine. So it was, it was all okay by then. And I asked her if it was okay and all that. But so really that's how I got close with him, because of Kathy.
Speaking of prom, how did that come about, you and Tupac going to prom? Because I always see that picture online, and I always wonder, what was the story behind that?
So my senior prom, I asked him to go with me. I wasn't dating anyone at the time. And he was a good friend. And I asked Kathy if it would be okay. Would she be all right if I asked him to prom? She's like, I don't care, because they were done by then. And so we, I just asked him, and we were really good friends. And he's like, sure, I'll go to prom with you. But it's interesting because once I asked him, then he got very, how do I explain? He wrote me this letter, and in the letter he was telling me about, oh, you don't have to worry about us going prom together. I'm not going to live up to my reputation. And I was confused by the letter, because I remember thinking, I asked him, why is he writing me this letter? But it was just sort of like, just him saying, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. And we all, and I wasn't worried about anything anyway. So,
so y'all go to prom. So what do y'all do afterwards, after prom is over?
So then there were a couple parties. So Tupac was actually planning on having an after party at his place. So he had an apartment that he lived with his family. This is really interesting too. It was on, I think, it's in Greenmount Avenue or something like that in Baltimore. And so we went to another party first at this girl named Tanya's house. So it was sort of like and she had, if I'm remembering it right, I remember like a big open basement with 2 big speakers and just a lot of dancing. And there were parents there, so there was supervision there. And it was, it was fun, but we didn't spend too long there. And then I think we still had the limousine or the van, whichever it was at that point. And then they took us to Tupac's place. And so Tupac's place was where we ended the night. And it was really strange to me because we went in the apartment and there was no supervision. I mean, we were totally on our own. And I think he was living there with an uncle or something like that. So I don't know the whole story. And I've heard since that there's, I don't know if his mom was in and out of there or what, but it basically, it was ready to party. I mean, they had beers in the fridge that they shared with everybody, and we had brought some of our own stuff, and it was just very casual. So it was a totally different scene from the party we had been at previously. But it was just all of our friends just laid back and hanging out at Tupac's apartment with no parental supervision. Nothing, right? And we all stayed over there. Everybody slept there.
So as you see, Tupac seems like he was a charmer, you know what I'm saying? He was into this arts, poetry thing. And do they call that serenading a woman? Like, you giving her roses, you poems, you catering. And Tupac was, it just shows how much more of wasn't a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you get people, oh, Tupac wasn't a rapper. And I'm not understanding this because it wasn't my era, but his impact was still so big. I was born in '89. His impact was so big by the time my era came in that it was still bulging. It was still a thing. So I never looked at Tupac as this street dude, which he turned into. Never knew all this. Never knew all this. Never knew that he actually went to school to perfect his craft. Meaning that he had the ups and still got the ups on many and any all of these other rappers. You don't have to go through that. People don't want to go through that now. They're not disciplined. They don't feel like they need stuff like that. So yeah, Tupac was way ahead of his time, clearly. And she's just giving her, you know, how she witnessed that greatness. Can't be mad at her. But I'ma come at you with this question, and that is, do you believe that she played, Heather G played any part in building Tupac's gift? You know, his charisma, passion, the greatness that he was. Do you think she contributed to it by being an item with him, attached to him earlier on, back in art school? Let me know in the comment section. Also, if you are hard-headed and haven't done like I told you or asked you in the beginning, can I please get that like button out of you? Please. Also subscribe to the channel. You know, I gave y'all a real exclusive, straight facts. All I ask you is to take an extra second. Don't need your Cash App, don't need your donation, don't need your super chat. Just need you to smash that subscription. This is definitely Soda TV, and we out of here.